Hello, is it you here? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. You changed to a new account. I didn't recognize you. What
May I,
happened?
may I rename?
Yeah, you can rename. Sure, sure. Um, did I?
Then,
Okay, yeah, that's right. It sounds more like you. Yeah, long time no see.
yes, a week,
A week, more like 2 weeks. Yeah,
2 week.
a 2 week break. And
I don't remember.
yeah. I hope that you're doing well. Okay, so what's the weather like in your place right now?
It is a little cold right now,
A little
about
cold.
9 degree.
9 degree.
Really,
Okay, that's
really
very cold.
cold.
Yeah,
What about yours?
my place. It's super hot. So because I live in the south, so that means that when it is noon, it is at noon. The temperature could go up to 35 degree.
Whoa, that's
Yeah,
too hot.
yeah, that's too hot. I wonder what is the hottest temperature in in the summer in your place here?
I don't know, it is just about from 25 to 30. It's not too hot, but it is warm and windy.
Yeah, warm and very windy. Oh, okay. I envy you for that because I really want to live in a place that is a lot cooler, and I also want to experience the winter, how to say it? The winter feeling, the winter weather. Yeah.
Yes.
There's never winter in my place. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you like to study today? Do you want to do something easy, or do you want to study IELTS?
Speaking, IELTS speaking.
Okay, IELTS speaking. Gotcha. Right. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to open the book. Right. So for IELTS speaking, what have you researched? What have you researched about IELTS speaking? Do you know anything about it?
I just have some information about there are three tasks,
Mm-hmm. There are three parts to the IELTS speaking.
three
Yes.
parts. Yeah.
A- And okay, do you know the differences between three parts?
I think the difference is between the three parts about the time and the question in the part three is often, I think
Yep.
it is more deep and it is more
Okay.
informative and you have to find and you have to answer is the time is not limited and you have to answer from your perspective
Yeah,
or
that's
from your
right.
inherent knowledge.
Good job, good job. That's right. That is totally correct. So for part
Yes.
one, we're going to answer like short questions only. Then the questions are just about your daily life, your likings, your disliking. It's just your preferences and your daily life. But in part three, short questions, short answers again. But the topic is going to be very vast, and it is mostly about economy, health, education, history, yeah, things like that. And it is much more difficult, like you say. Now, we're not going to tackle part three. We're going to tackle part one first because, like, even if part one is easy, sometimes the students may make mistake, and it is such a đáng tiếc, right? It's just a pity that they still make mistake in part one. Okay, right? So here, right, places and building. The topic, one of the most popular topics about in speaking is talking about your hometown. Okay, so because we're talking about a place, we should use some adjective to describe that place. Don't you agree? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, right. Now we're going to dive deep in the part one and part one question with the topic of houses, places, and building. Right. Okay. Now, uh, I have I have three questions for you. Is there much for young people to do in your hometown? what was your hometown like in the past, and has your hometown changed since you were a child? Okay, so can you tell me which question do you expect to see in the IELTS speaking part one?
I think the question see in past one is like, has your hometown changed since you were a child?
Okay, right. Has your hometown changed since you were a child? Okay. My answer for this is actually the first two question. Yeah. Is there much for young people to do in your hometown? And what was your hometown like in the past?
Yeah,
General question. Again, about your background, your daily activities, just your personal information. And this kind of question, okay, it is very rare. Okay. It occurs how to say, it does not appear very often in the IELTS speaking test,
yeah.
but if you're unlucky, you'll get the question like this. And it is more difficult because you have to juggle between answering between the two tenses that would describe the past and the present, right?
You have to, yeah. To answer this question, you have to categorize the thing that happened in the past, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
mix them with things happen now.
Yeah, that's right.
You
So
have to remember about your hometown or
yeah. So with a lot of people who don't have a hometown, this is a very difficult topic, right? But as I
yeah.
say, nothing is impossible. If you don't have a hometown, create your own hometown or just treat the place you're living in as a hometown.
Mm.
Now, okay. So Hiếu, do you have a hometown?
Yes.
Okay, so is it in a different city or is it still in the same city?
No, it is in different city.
Ah, okay, right. So can you tell me a little bit about your hometown? Just like what is this called? Where is it? And what's special about it?
In Taipei, it is the north of Vietnam, and the
Mm,
special about it, it is really, it has no mountain, and it is đồng bằng là gì nhỉ cô?
a plain. Is right?
It have many plains and it's covered. It is very, yeah. I think it's had no mountain
Okay. So when you want to talk about a place that has no mountain, bằng phẳng, đúng chưa? Right? Thì
plain.
chúng ta sẽ
Yeah.
nói là flat, đúng thế nào? Mình sử dụng tính
Flat.
từ flat nha. Okay. Mình nói là
Yeah.
overall, the place is overall, the city of Thái Bình is not as high as the place I'm staying in right now. Đúng chưa?
Yeah.
Okay, it is much flatter and it has a lot of plains. Có rất là nhiều cái đồng bằng rộng lớn. It has a lot of vast plain. Do you know the adjective vast?
Yeah, I know vast.
Okay,
It is
yeah.
about the size big, large side,
Đúng rồi.
large side or width, large width.
The
Chiều
large,
rộng là breadth,
đúng rồi. Đúng rồi. I know. With.
width.
The vast is the adjective we use to describe like the big area of a flat surface, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so I know that your hometown is Thái Bình. So can I ask you the question, is there much for young people to do in your hometown?
I think I think my city is my uh,
Okay, I'll give you some time to think
can
about this
you,
question.
yeah, can I
Okay.
answer now?
Oh, you want to answer right now? Yeah,
I
okay.
think in my village there are much activities. There are many activities for young people to do in my hometown. It's that when you in my hometown it's very flat and it is covered with many fields. So it is so it's a good time for young people to flying kite or playing some activity like some rural activities like climb and bluff or hide and seek in the vast and flat areas. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. Right. So what you're trying to describe is the your hometown. I try to imagine that the place you're describing is quite rural, right? Okay.
Yes.
We also know that Haiben is a very big city, but it also has two sides. One side that is very developed, and the other side is quite rural. Yeah.
Yeah, rural.
Okay.
I'm on the rural side.
Yeah, okay. Right. So you can add more details to your hometown like that. Like I just said, Thái Bình is quite the big province in the north, right? But my hometown is actually on the rural side of the province.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then you start talking about like some activities, outdoor activities that the kids can do, where there are a lot of rice paddy fields and there are vast plains for the kids to play in. Yeah, okay. Add more details about your hometown because the more detail you describe, the easier for me to imagine what place you're talking about. Okay?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why that's why we need adjectives like this, or we need like how do I say it? Relative clause, okay, to define the place. Hiểu chưa? Or we all can also add comparison. Yeah, like I just said, Ivan is a big province, but it is not as big as the province I'm living in. You can say things like that.
Yes.
Okay, make a little bit of comparison. Okay, that's good. Right. So generally, for this question, I suggest my student to answer this way. Yes or I suggest my student to answer it straightforwardly. Yes, there are a lot of things for people to do in my hometown, right? And then I start to tell them to uh describe a little bit about their hometown. Is it rural or is it like modern? If the hometown is modern, we think of modern activity like going to the park, playing skateboard, or going to coffee shops, meeting with friends, going to cinemas, blah blah blah. Those are for the modern hometown. And for the rural hometown, I will ask them to describe the hometown just like you did. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for understanding. Now, are you good with this question? Is there any other question? Is there anything you want to ask me?
Yes. No.
Okay, no other question. So how about question number two? What was your hometown like in the past?
I think in the past, uh, let me think a little for 1 minute.
Okay, would you like some time for you to prepare your question, your answer?
1 minute.
Okay,
About
one
one
minute.
minute. May I answer now?
Okay, yes, please.
I think in the past when there are not too many changes in the past in my hometown. In the past when I was about 5 years old, that is when I went to my hometown and lived here the longest, about 1 to 2 months, and the you know that In the past, on the rural side, my hometown is not as modern as it is now. So the is about the road and about the vehicle that day. The road
Mm-hmm.
is just mud road and it's not as modern in the day. It's about the road. It's used mud roads and
Mm-hmm.
there's not enough modern materials demanding for building a road, so we have to transport from one place to other place with difficulty. Ừ, hơi bị lặp.
Thứ nhất là nó lặp và thứ hai nữa là nó hơi rối. Mình calm down, mình bình tĩnh lại, mình nói chậm rãi hơn, mình trình bày một cách rõ ràng hơn thì người nghe cũng sẽ không có kiểu như là bị bị cuốn theo cái dòng cái dòng sự kiện của mình một cách bất ngờ như vậy. Bởi vì là
Yes,
khi mà
may I
mình
speak again?
yeah, okay, you may speak
Is
again,
that too
please.
confusing?
It's not too confusing, but like it was too fast for me to follow the chain of events. So because like thanks to your conclusion at the end that I knew that the biggest change was the road, right? The road got upgraded from mud road. Now we have like stone road or like
Earthen,
cement road.
earthen, just earthen roll.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Right. Make sure to add a conclusion if you are afraid that you may make the listener confused. Okay, now you can speak again. What
Yes.
was your hometown like in the past?
In the past, when I was 5 year old, there are a lot of things. The thing is not changing much, but this is about the road and the public transport in our hometown on the rural side.
Mm-hmm.
And the hometown and the road is not as modern as it is now, and it is much roads, and there is not enough modern material demanded for building the roads. So we have to transport it from place to other place with difficulty. Second, about the public transport, we don't have enough money as we do now. So in the past, we just use not motorcycle, we just use bikes. So it is very difficult and we had a hard time traveling on the road. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was good. Okay, so the ideas are much more clearer now. But you made like a very big mistake that is very repetitive. That is, you forgot to put the verbs in past tense, right? Ví dụ như những cái từ mà used á, thì mình đọc lướt qua, mình không có đọc âm ed thì giám khảo nếu mà
yeah,
không nghe được thì có thể bỏ qua, có thể nhắm mắt cho qua được. Nhưng mà ví dụ như chúng ta nói là we don't have or like there isn't á,
didn't have.
đó, đúng chưa? Yeah, that we didn't have or like there wasn't thì đó mới là cái câu trả lời đúng. But like you were very that you didn't pay attention to the tense, right? Because we're talking about the things in the past. That's why I noticed right away that you are mistaking between past simple and present simple, and it is a very concerning problem. Okay, remember
Yeah,
to put everything in the past if we're talking in a past context.
about passive event.
Yeah, about passive event. That's good. Thank you. Right. Okay. So I like your idea. I like the way you present it. Just make everything into past again. Okay.
Yes.
Rồi. Okay. So now you see that for the question number one, okay, we talk about a fact or like the truth of like a present event, right? So we use present simple. But for the second question, it was about uh like the things in the past, events in the past. That's why we have to use past simple. For the thing in question number three, we're going to use what tense? Do you know? Question number
Present
three,
perfect. Present
present,
perfect.
present perfect. Okay, right? So now, do you see that question number two and question number three are very similar? Are very,
Yes.
yeah, okay, right, good.
There's a little similarity between two questions.
Yeah, that's why I want you to figure out how can you make the difference between your answers for question two and your answer for question three. How can you make the difference?
I think it is about the question two. It asks about past event, and it is about what thing was thinking in the past. But in
Mm-hmm.
the third question, you can see that it's about what your child changes. It is from past to present. What
Mm,
is talk about the things that had changed
mhm.
since
Right.
you were trying, and from then on.
Yeah. Okay. So to make it simple, when you answer a question like the one in number two, never make a comparison. Okay. If you
Yes,
make a comparison, we know that, oh, there has been a lot of changes. And if you use that kind of comparison to answer the same thing in question number three, it's going to repeat, right? The thing you answered in
yes.
question two, right? So now I'm going to give you a model answer for question number two. What was your hometown like in the past? I remember clearly that in the past, my hometown didn't have a lot of tall buildings. Everything
Yes.
was around ground. Every house there only had one floor, and they all look very small. Uh, there weren't a lot of traffic. Uh, since we traveled. Uh, sorry. Okay, there weren't a lot of traffic because all the vehicles were still very thô sơ là gì ta?
Rude and
Was simple.
criminal.
Primitive
Those are
primitive thì không phải, thô sơ có sẽ dùng
criminal.
từ simple thôi, tại vì primitive là theo cái dạng mà kiểu à, dành cho người tối cổ rồi thì cô sẽ không dùng primitive được. Right, I'm just gonna say simple. Right. Because all the vehicles were very simple, like you could only see bicycles, and very old models of motorbikes cycling on the road. Yeah, never make a comparison. Okay, if you make a comparison like the houses aren't as big as the one we have today, yeah, hey, that means that if you say things like that, that means you're talking about the changes, right? They care about the details in the past. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, right. So now, would you like to try again for question number two and save the comparison for question number three?
Try
It,
again. Question number two.
yeah, do you want to try question number two again and try to control your ideas that you won't make any comparison?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you 1 minute to prepare your ideas. Remember, cut down all the comparison. Save them for question number three instead, okay?
Yes. Leave the comparison for number three.
Yeah, that's right. Save the comparison for number three because in number three, we'll talk about changes, right? For example, if you can see that here, like the cinema, right? The cinema in the past and the cinema in the present are so different. I'm gonna say things like, uh, well, there used to be, the big cinema in the center of the city, used to be so small and old, but now it has been renovated, right? So there's a change. There's a change in the process. Okay, so just back to question number two. What was your hometown like in the past? Talk about the past events only. Don't make comparisons.
Yes. May I answer now?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I think in the past, I remember that in the past when I was 5 years old, the roads here was not too modern because there wasn't a demand for there was a demand for modern materials and techniques for building roads here. So the road is not modern, and when traveling through from one place to other, it is very difficult. Secondly, it's about the public transport due to our because we didn't have enough money to buy modern vehicles, so we just had to use bike to travel. So we had a hard time uh, traveling from one place to other.
Yeah, that's right. That's better. Good job. Okay. Don't make comparison. We just need to listen to the details. Okay. Good.
Yes.
So now, okay, since you talk about the road and the traffic in the past already, now you could use that and talk about the changes that have happened to the road and the traffic. Okay.
Yes.
Now, okay, think and then answer question number three. Has your hometown changed since you were a child?
Uh, has your hometown changed since you were a child? Think my hometown has changed a lot since I was a child. And from now on, my hometown was are developed, and there's another thing that changed since I was a child. First is about the road. The road it used to be much simple than what is right now. And now the road is modernized and upgraded. And you can when traveling to other places it can be better and smoother. Secondly is about the transport. It is when you use public transport, now we have enough money to buy some modern transport like motorcycle, or especially a car. So we can travel from one place to other place easier, and it's make it more convenience when traveling to other place to when traveling in a hometown. You
Okay,
Yeah.
that is how you talk about the changes. Okay, good.
Yes.
You did make a comparison. It would be so perfect if you could use present perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
I noticed that you didn't use present perfect and you are still very stuck on using present simple. Sometimes you added information in the past, so you use past simple. But if you want to talk about changes over time, remember to use present perfect. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, you can say like the roads have been upgraded, the traffic have been added. Okay? Right, that's good. Okay, so I did receive the information from,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I did receive, no, no, no. Hiếu Hiếu, I heard your dad's voice, and I think that we should end the class now because you need time
Yes.
to rest, right? Good job today,
Yes.
right? It's already 30 minutes. Thank you so much for coming here today.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, okay. Take a rest. Okay, bye bye.
Yes.